focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome back to another 2-for-1 Nation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, SC Raiders Talk, aka your boy Eric, and also, Twuan will be joining us in just a bit. He's running a little late. But obviously we got, I wouldn't say a lot to talk about, but one main thing to talk about, and it's the talk of the town, you could say, right? The quarterback controversy. Will the Raiders trade up? Multiple sources say they will, and they will attempt to. A lot of people good with what we have. Other people are not content with what we got, and we got that huge debate to talk about. So it's going to be very interesting today. It's going to be very interesting, and also, shout out to everybody that's in here so far. Let me shout out everybody that's in here so far. Let me actually change this back to this while we wait for our boy Twuan real quick. I'll just keep this up for now. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Robert Pena, what's good? What's good? Good to see you, Raider Way. What's good? Salute. Raiders Rebel Unleash in the building. What's good? Raiders Way. What's good? What's good? Carlos D. What's good? Salute. The future looks bright. Hashtag just win, baby. You already know what it is. Shout out to Milo Hunt. AOC is my quarterback. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Critique. What's good, Critique? Good to see you, man. Hope all as well. The future looks bright. I feel that. No one is above the shield. That's a fact. Shout out to SoCal Sal. What's good? Cali Raider in the building. What up, Cali Raider? What's good? Jeffrey, what's good? Salute. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. What's good? Salute. My 2 cents. SoCal Sal. I'm not sure if I saluted you, but what's good? What's good? New here? Hey, welcome, Cali Raider, man. Hopefully you like the content, man. Hey, subscribe if you end up liking it, right? But shout out to everybody, man. Of course, we got a lot of things to talk about. Some interesting things today, and of course, Twuan is running a little late, and as you can see here, Cali Raiders new here. If you're also new here, there's a 2-for-1 Nation podcast every Thursday between me and my boy RaiderTwuan. Every Thursday around this similar time, all the time, and then on Tuesdays is my individual show at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you guys missed it, I would recommend to go see it because I have a new setup, as you can see right here alone. Right, you guys see right here. This is one of the setups for the individual show. And besides that, I have another setup, which actually, if you guys don't want to go back, I could actually show you guys a new setup on my individual show that I'm very excited about, and it's gonna bring a new, I want to say twist. It'll bring a new atmosphere to it, right? So let me show you guys real quick. This is the new thing. You feel me? The new thing in general. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. That's the new little, you feel me? Little setup for that day, of course. But yeah, welcome everybody that's new here and stuff like that. But for now, you feel me? We go talk about some quarterback controversy across the nation, not only is what's good, Lake Show. What's good, Lake Show? Good to see you. Not only is it a huge debate, but also, of course, there's different scenarios across the nation of what people are saying. Some people are saying stick with AOC. Some people are saying Jada Daniels. Other people are saying stay put. Shout out to Randy. What's good, Randy? Raider Gabe in the building. What's good? Good to see everybody in here, man. But let's get straight into it, right? The first thing is first things first. Are the Raiders all in on Jayden Daniels, man? What you guys think? Are they all in on Jayden Daniels? For me, it's a possibility. I will say that. I will say that 100%. It's a possibility. But are they all in? You feel me? It's one thing to make the call. It's another thing to be all in on it. And also there's other scenarios which we'll talk about right now. And I see somebody in the chat put someone that I'm gonna talk about soon. Um, that you could easily get in the second round, which is Penix. Which, if you guys didn't see his pro day today, had a pretty good pro day. Looked good today. Um, just like Jada Daniels looked good on his pro day. All these guys look good on their pro day. So that's good signs, right? That's positives across the board. It's good to see Penix out there, especially with the national championship injury, you could say, because he was playing with hurt ribs. Shout out to Pizzle. What's good, Pizzle? And Randy says, I hope not. So let's get straight into it, right? Jayden Daniels is obviously the number one on the Raiders board, and that's 100% obvious across every media, every time Antonio Pierce talked, every time Tom Telesco has talked. You could easily see that Jayden Daniels is the number one out there. And let me bring on my co-host. I believe he's backstage, man, and you already know what it is, man. The Two for One Nation podcast is not one for one nation, it's two for one nation. That means there's two brothers on the screen, man. And let me switch this before I continue. My boy here, man. Y'all know him, y'all love him. My boy here, man. The king of brown crackers, you feel me? My boy RaiderTwuan in the building. I don't know why it's not showing you. Give me a second. There we go. There we go.
Hey, what's good? What's good? Hey, blessings to everybody. Two for One Nation podcast. Two brothers for One Nation. And y'all know it's the Raider Nation.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody, man. Hit that like button.
Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. And you feel me? There's no two for one without my other host here, man. And shout out to everybody coming in, man. Alfredo, what's good? Good to see everybody in here, man. Damn, your Nightbot is working, bro. My Nightbot does not want to work, bro. My Nightbot does not want to work, bro.
I talked to my girl a little bit, saying, before we start every show. You might have to talk to your girl before you start the show. Make sure she's working right.
That Nightbot on tripping. But
Hey,
shout out to everybody, man. Oh, go ahead.
But for real, it's been tripping like that for like the past couple of weeks. It want to work some days, sometimes it don't want to work. I guess they think they feel it's the off season too, so they feel like they should get some days off, even though we trying to grind this thing out.
Yeah. And obviously we're talking about Jada Daniels. That's the talk of all morning today. I've been seeing across the media and everything. So what do you think, man? Do you think the Raiders are all in on Jayden Daniels?
I think they're in,
Okay.
but I don't think they're all in.
Okay.
Hear me out on it.
Mhm.
I think they're in on Daniels. I think they're really intrigued about Daniels. I think they would love to get Daniels, but if the price is just way, way too high, I think they'll be fine just to hey, we'll catch you, you know what I'm saying, somewhere down the road. You know what I'm saying? Because it might, and I hate to say it like that, but if they really do like Jayden Daniels, who knows? He might say, hey, after my rookie contract, I want to move on. You know what I'm saying? I really want to play with AP. So I'm not saying that that's what they're really banking on, but I think I think they're in on Daniels. I think that's the guy that they want. But if the price is just way, way too high, especially with all the other things that we still need to address according to this team, I don't think, even Tom Telesco, I think Tom Telesco would be like, hey, I know you really like AP. I know you like Jayden Daniels AP, but we got to take care of X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the yin and yang into the relationship between Coach AP and Telesco. I think AP is one of those guys, hey, let's go get it, let's go get it. And Telesco's like, hold on, we got to fill out this team. You know what I'm saying? There's some pieces we got to do. I'm thinking, AP's thinking right now, and a lot of us fans are thinking right now, but Telesco's also looking at down the road. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're in, but I don't think they're where it's like throw everything just to go get Daniels.
Cali Raider says, I truly believe they're on JD5. Reports coming in. AP interested in JJ McCarthy. Raider Paul, the fellow JJ McCarthy fan. What's good? What's good, Paul? Randy says, I'll be clear. I don't hate Daniels. I just don't want to give up what they'd have to give up for him. I feel that, man. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Salute, salute. Hope all is well. And Raider gave us a question for you, man. What is too high? What do you think is too high?
That is definitely a question to ask. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's price is a little different, right? And like, just like brother Randy said, it's a situation where if we're looking in the draft and he slides, you know what I'm saying, out of that 1, 2, 3, and he's like right there 4 or 5, that's not going to, the price for us to jump up to there is not going to be as high as jumping up to like the number 1, right? The number 1, what I've seen or what I've heard, that they kind of, the asking price was like 3 first and like 2 seconds or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So think about how much you can get off of that, you know what I'm saying, value wise, just to go get one guy. You know what I'm saying? So I would say I would throw 2 firsts at him. You know what I'm saying? Our first this year, maybe our first next year. And maybe throw in a kicker pick after that, maybe. But anything outside of that, I think would be way too high. So because you have to factor in, and you have to factor in, there's other things that we're going to need, and there's going to be other contracts that we have right now that are going to expire in about a year or 2. So what do we do to replace that? So it's really up to Telesco and them.
Gabe said he's giving up 3 first. Who in here were actually watching the Raiders in the early 2000s? Because I was, and it wasn't pretty. Signing these old mediocre quarterbacks constantly will not change anything. Here's the thing with that, right? We had so many quarterbacks before Carr. We had so many quarterbacks. Even now, we've had what? I would say what? AOC, Brian Hoyer started one. Jimmy Garoppolo. Am I missing somebody? I might be missing somebody. Oh, Jared Stidham in that second half. 4 quarterbacks in the span of pretty much 2 seasons. That is crazy alone, right? And here's the thing with it, right? We have a you could call it a blueprint already on what is it gonna take to go up to the number 3 spot, because pretty much I believe the number 3 spot will end up being where Jayden Daniels will fall, or either 4, depending on if they rate somebody like Drake May higher or JJ McCarthy higher, right? So we have a blueprint already. There was a guy, right, that was picked a couple years back and was the 3rd overall pick. Now you got, if you know, you'll see where I'm heading with this. He is arguably one of the worst trades in all of the NFL history. Now, this is by a team that has built and has been to the Super Bowl twice in the span of, I would say, 6 to 8 years. I forgot when was the first time they went recently. Mm. And it goes by the name of Trey Lance. Last talk. Now, Trey Lance is somebody that the Niners went up to the 3rd overall pick, and it took 3 first-round picks alone for Trey Lance. And this was 20, I I believe, if I'm not mistaken, what year was it? 2021. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, technically. 2021. So it's recent time. Now, I'm gonna give you another trade, and this doesn't involve the draft, but it involves the quarterback. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson got traded from an old Russell Wilson, by the way, because he's older now. Went from the Seattle Seahawks to the Denver Broncos. And the Denver Broncos gave up 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, a fifth, and 3 different players in Drew Lock, Noah Fant, which was their starting tight end at the time, by the way, and Shelby Harris, which was their starting defensive lineman. And that was for Russell Wilson. Now, I'm giving you these guys 2 blueprints, two different things that have happened recently that we could go based on, and we could assume what it would take to go up to the 3rd overall spot. Now, my question to you guys is, would you guys do it?
And I think, and I'll add on to that, because I think we definitely need to paint the picture here too, Eric. Is those 2 examples you gave an example of a team that really didn't have a fully built team, and then you have an example of a team that had a fully built team. Let's talk about it. The Broncos, they didn't have a fully built team. Okay? And they swung for the fences, right? They missed. Where are they sitting now? Not looking good, right? Versus the Niners. Fully built team. They swung for the fences, and it didn't have them land so far. You know what I'm saying? Like they're obviously Brock Purdy, you know what I'm saying? And they're back in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So they're in a situation where I would like for us to get, but we also have to ask ourselves, and let's be real honest, sometimes we got to take off our Raider cap. Let's be really honest about where this roster is built. You know, how it's really built. Are we solid like the Niners are in regards to roster and depth, or are we kind of like the Broncos? Or I'm gonna say we're a little better than the Broncos. I'll
We're
give
better
that.
than the Broncos, yeah.
Are we closer to the Broncos spectrum, or are we at the Niners spectrum? You know what I'm saying? And if you're saying, hey, we're not fully at the Niners spectrum, then the fall of swinging that hard, you know what I'm saying, and investing that much, we're gonna feel it similar to what the Broncos are feeling. So that's how it can possibly play out for us. And if we and that's where I can't speak for Eric on this one, but that's kind of where I'm at in the sense of really fully building out this team, because after you fully build out the team, linebackers, offensive line, you know what I'm saying, all those other pieces. Yes, we believe in our defense, but when you start looking at the depth behind the starters, what is it? What really is it? There's question marks, right? If we fully do that, hey, you can swing as hard as you want, because you're not going to fall as far as, you know what I'm saying, as other teams, because no matter what, you still got a solid roster around whoever you have under center. So as much as I like it, as much as it really, for me, it just depends on what they're intending to give up. I'm not willing to give up the entire farm just to swing for the fences, and then we fall. You know what I'm saying? Even worse, because now you know what I'm saying, we're kind of like the Panthers situation in regards to how the roster's going. So that's how I see it. But those are good examples of how far we can fall if we swing, and then how far we can fall if a team is really built out in regards to going after that guy.
I'm gonna get through some of the comments and then I'll address my take on that whole thing on where we're at and all that stuff. Shout out to Cali Raider. Hey, don't even get me started on those quarterbacks. Hey, put respect on Carson Palmer, my USC guy. I'm just kidding. Nah, he disappointed me when he came over here, bro. I'll give you a stat in the last 10 years. Only 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 5 made it to the Super Bowl. Does anybody know who they are? In the top 5 in the last 10 years. Well, for sure not Trey Lance. I mean, technically he made the Super Bowl, right, as a backup. I mean, I wouldn't really consider that. I wouldn't really consider that. I would probably have to fucking think about it. But let me get through these comments real quick. What's Nike's slogan? Just do it. Yeah, that's Nike's slogan. Randy says, I've asked the questions before, but what team that traded up for the future up to go up in the top 3 for a can't miss quarterback and then won a Super Bowl with that quarterback?
Mm.
In recent times, not really anybody. Everybody always stayed still. I will say that. Like Patrick Mahomes, for instance, they were at that pick. They didn't trade up, I believe. Um, yeah, trading up. No, I think picking in the top 10. That's different, though. If picking in the top 10 is different, but if it's like you said, trading up, I can't really name a quarterback, bro. And then he said it. Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, and my man Carson Wentz, and only one of those 3 have won Super Bowl. Do not trade up. Carson Wentz has that Super Bowl. You know what's crazy to think about it? Actually, Matthew Stafford has it.
Uh-huh.
To think about like somebody like Joe Burrow that had so much promise has not won a Super Bowl. And the guy, like, I remember, I don't know if you remember this when we had our old quarterback when the Joe Burrow topic popped up. Everybody said that he was such a like he's gonna win the Super Bowl. He's like the best of the best and all this different stuff. I know his injuries kind of cost him, but it kind of shows. You feel me? Like injuries are a big factor too, man.
But
And a simple injury could screw up somebody's career.
but even with that Stafford team, you know what I'm saying?
That's
That
Stafford.
team that team was built. You know what I'm saying? That team was built, and all they needed was that quarterback, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to take them over the top. So that's those are questions we really have to. Again, I hate to say it because people are gonna be like, you ain't a Raider fan, but sometimes you gotta take off the Raider cap and look at it. Are we only a quarterback away, or are we actually a quarterback and some starting pieces away? And
Yeah.
what is it going to take? What is it going to require for us to get those starting pieces on this roster? Because you can't just say you can't say it's solely money. I'll say that. You can't just solely use money because that ain't gonna help the situation.
Mhm. I just want to get through the comments because I see a lot of like both sides, and I'm about to say my side, and my side kind of touches on both sides. I'm not really on either side, and I'll tell you guys why right now. Shout out to Holly Tanner. She says F them picks. Shout out to J Dog. Was good, but let them hype up so Jayden falls. Raider wastes depth next year. Until then, free agents. Frank White was good. SC, we moving up to take Daniels. The writing is on the wall. Okay. Uh, shout out to everybody coming in. Brian Rodriguez, I'll take Penix at 13 and keep the draft picks. Penix will be there in the second round. I would not take Penix at 13, respectful. I love Penix. He was somebody that was my guy, but his injuries drop him. And they're solid yet to miss as the Niners did. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Lake Show was good, but scared money, but don't make money. Hey, there you go. That's my slogan, right? Hey, I'm a full-blown SC fan. I'm from Cali. Hey, I feel that, man. I can see it right there. You already know, man. USC fight on all day, man. The 3 ones will cost the most eventually. If they hit, get the guy you want and build with the second round later picks. I saw the Raiders were meeting with Michael Hires as Stanford quarterback and what they're about. They also went with Joe Milton. I believe there was another guy that they went up for. They traded up for Mahomes. Oh, my bad, but he wasn't considered a top 10. Yep, you're right. Shout out to Jaw Raider. What's good, Jaw Raider? Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you know we got 54 plus, man. If you can't see somebody's comment, it's probably because they're on the other channel. We're simulcasting on RaiderTwuan channel and the SC Raiders Talk. Now, let me get straight into it, right? And oh my god, I'm about to cook real quick. So bear with me, y'all. I might talk a little, but bear
Let
with me.
him cook. Let
I'm
him cook.
I'm gonna give you guys some different scenarios that have happened in the NFL. one side of the spectrum, I understand. I understand both sides of the spectrum, right? There's two. Trade up for Jayden Daniels. There's factors to that, right? Some things that have happened about the how do I say it? There's factors to do with the NFL, and this, and specifically, I would like to say, when it comes to the spectrum of trading everything for Jayden Daniels, the Raiders have not been good in the first round recently, and that's one of the things I want to bring up on that side of the fence, right? The trade up for Jayden Daniels. Most of our first rounders are gone. They don't really pan out, or they don't pan out at all. Tyree Wilson still has a lot of promise from recent time, obviously, and that was our most recent first round pick. But besides that, we've had no first round in 2022. You guys got to remember, we didn't have a first round pick in 2022. We didn't have a first round pick in 2022. Alex Leatherwood was the first round pick in 2021. Henry Ruggs was the first round pick in 2020, and Damon Arnett was a first round pick in 2020. Cleveland Farrell and Josh Jacobs, both first round picks in 2019. Colton Miller and PJ Hall, both in 2018, and PJ Hall is not here no more. Colton Miller is. Garyon Conley was the first round pick for us in 2017, gone. Carl Joseph, first round pick in 2016, gone. That alone looks like 90% of our first rounders in the last 6 to 10 years are gone. Pretty much. Are gone. 90% of them. The only people left is Colton Miller, Tyree Wilson, obviously, and that's pretty much from the list I have here. About the only ones that are here, and Josh Jacobs was here and then left, right? So that's first round picks. That's one side of the fence, and I'm gonna repeat this to everybody coming in. I'm not on either side of the fence. I understand both sides. I'm just giving you guys a clear view of both sides. Why I think both sides are not wrong, right? That's the side of the fence of trading up for Jayden Daniels. The first way, the first round picks are not that good. They haven't been good on our spectrum. They have not. They have not helped us at all. Now, the other thing too, right? Look at the Rams. The Rams won the Super Bowl. They gave up all their first rounders. They bought that Super Bowl pretty much, some may say, right? And what did they do recently? They have built a team that is young, right? Off of third, fourth, fifth, sixth round picks. You guys want to give you a name? Puka. The wide receiver was not a first, not a second. He was in day 3, I believe. They're showing the blueprint there for the Rams, how to build a team. And I believe their defensive tackle, let me get his name right as well. Kobe Turner, another guy, was not picked in the first round or second. I believe not even second. I think it was third. Yep, Kobe Turner was in the third, and Puka was in the fifth. And they're building a squad over there with later round picks. Shout out to Cool Kev. What's good, Cool Kev? So that's one side of the spectrum, right? That's one side of the spectrum, and that's the pull the trigger and go up and get Jayden Daniels, and you will still be able to build the team. Now let me go to the other side of the spectrum. Staying with what we got, right? Staying with what we got, and this is the other side of the spectrum. I'm just giving you guys both sides. Like I said, I don't think either side is wrong. The other side of the spectrum is keeping the picks. Now think of a scenario like this, right? Aiden O'Connell gets a full offseason. With Gardner Minshew there to push him, it's extending him and making him play better because of all the competition, right? The competition that's there. Not only that, he has a real offensive coordinator now. A real one, right? A real one there. In that side of the spectrum. With properly Getsy, right? At the end of the day, he didn't do good with Justin Fields, but maybe that's just a quarterback and him thing, right? That they didn't. The whole Chicago Bears was just going through the mud and all these different things and yada 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 yada, right? And more yada yada yada, right? And obviously on that side of the spectrum, imagine getting Fuaga at 13. You get your future right tackle. Now you have pretty much your offensive line except for your right guard position. Now think of this scenario. Thayer Mudford moves from the right tackle spot to the guard position. Thayer Mudford played guard before and was really good at it, by the way, in college. He only allowed 1 sack in his whole time of being a guard. Now you have that big guy at the right guard. and now you have Fuaga on that right tackle spot. You have your offensive line, and now you have a quarterback that has another year under his belt with people like head coaching experience guys like Marvin Lewis and all these different things and all these coaching staffs in general. With a defense now, with a defensive line that's probably going to be top 5, top 10 easily next year. That's going to perform. Now you think of that side of the spectrum, right? And you keep your second round, your third round picks, whatever. You go get a Michael Penix, Bo Nix, maybe Joe Milton in the third, fourth, fifth. All these guys to back up AOC and Gardner Minshew. So not only do you have a veteran now, you have a second-year guy that has started before in the NFL with now having another offseason in his belt. And now you have a guy like Michael Penix or somebody that is really good, that has the potential, or Bo Nix, or even JJ McCarthy might fall. Who knows? These guys that have so much potential behind these guys, learning, and eventually will take over. That's the other side of the spectrum. And in my opinion, I don't think both sides are wrong. I don't know about you, Twuan. I'm cool with either or. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, you're an idiot if you think that. You're an idiot." At the end of the day, we need to stop kind of criticizing each other for stuff that we're both right about. And I believe this debate here is right on both sides of the spectrum. Would I be mad if we go up and get Jayden Daniels? Hell no. Would I be mad if we go out there and get a future right tackle at 13? Hell no. Would I be mad if we trade back? We have 2 second-round picks and a late first, and we still get our future right tackle or our future cornerback, plus multiple guys in the second round, a quarterback and maybe another tackle, guard, anything? I'm cool with it. At the end of the day, I'm cool with both spectrums because both are right. And just looking at it, there's different NFL teams that have shown blueprints on both sides of the ball. And for me personally, I'm a little taken back a little from what you need to give up to be in those top 3 picks. But what I'm hoping for, and this is the best case scenario for both sides, Jayden Daniels drops to 4 or 5, and you don't have to give up 3 first-round picks. Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to let you cook because I'm with you. Like everybody should know by now. If the world was mine, I would want Jayden Daniels on this team. But to try to snag him up there in the top 3 again, I just feel like the price is going to be way too high. So if he does, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not completely opposed to the trade up, but not that high. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if he lands 4 or 5, you know what I'm saying? Like if Caleb goes off the board, if May goes off the board, if all of a sudden, surprise, JJ gets picked, you know what I'm saying? And Jayden is sitting there, okay, go get him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm cool with that. But I'm not mortgaging the entire house just for a quarterback to come here and then he's running for his life because his offensive line hasn't got figured out. Or, you know what I'm saying? There's a, you know, we haven't addressed corner. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we need to figure out. And I feel like with Telesco in here, I think Telesco's bread and butter is in his higher picks. So, you know, if we're taking that away from him, what is he going to be able to work with? You know what I'm saying? And that's where, you know, there's a cause for, you know, concern in regards to in which we go about. But I'm cool either way. I know that we need to get a quarterback. I know we need to address quarterback at some point, but I also feel like we also need to fill out this roster and not just on the top end, but on the back end. Are we comfortable with our backup linebacker if Diablo goes down? Oh, by the way, Diablo's been hurt for like the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't played a complete full season of football. Are we cool with are we cool with that? Are we cool with Hobbs having to play on the outside because we don't have an outside corner? So we have to put Hobbs on the outside when we know Hobbs' bread and butter is at slot. So that's where again, I even the Efton picks, like I think there's a barometer on what do you mean by Efton picks? Are you telling me that we're giving for the next 2-3 years we're not going to have a first round pick because you know what I'm saying, because we went to go get Jayden Daniels at number 2? You know what I'm saying, instead of waiting to see if he falls or whatever the situation may be. So I think I think it all boils down to what AP said in regards to how the roster is going to get, you know, filled out. Coach AP said that he's leaning on Telesco on bringing in the groceries, and I think that's where it lies. And we might have to look at more. Might have to look at more of what Telesco does in regards to drafts. Does he like to move up? You know what I'm saying? Is that a part of his? You know what I'm saying? Is that a part of his game? You know what I'm saying? And if it ain't, then we might be, you know, we might be making noise just to be making noise at this point.
So we got two different takes here. I mean, actually, same takes. Gabe says most quarterbacks that fail are quarterbacks that are drafted on the wrong situation. Jayden Daniels fits perfectly with the Raiders. He has a father figure in the head coach. He's made for the nation. Hashtag fuck them picks. Raider Rebel says Max Crosby 5th round. Malcolm Coons 3rd round. Trayvon 2nd round. Amongst all our star players, were drafted in the later rounds. Just got to do your homework, and I think Tom Telesco does his homework. Holly Tanner's on the F them picks. What are we gonna say for the other one? Like a hashtag, right? So one side is hashtag F them picks. What's the other one? Hashtag stay put. Hashtag stay put. Hashtag I don't know. Hashtag I don't know. I don't know. We got to come up with the hashtag. Cali Raider says rather have a left-handed quarterback that only has a max of 8 years in the league or younger, more talented quarterback that we can have for years. Michael Penix is older. That is the knock. That is the knock. Offensive line was better when everybody is making it seem as all we need is a right guard. Well, I think the main problem with the offensive line was the fact that they switched the scheme around again. I think that was the problem because the year before that, the offensive line was pretty decent. And then the following year, which is the most recent year, they just looked like garbage. And they looked out of sync. And I think it's because the scheme flipped. Now the scheme is going back to how it originally was, which I believe it's a zone scheme now. It used to be power, now it's zone, which I think will benefit people like Zamir and will benefit the offensive line. I do think that. I think it switches to zone. If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But
I think it actually is leaning more towards the zone. I think Getsy, that's kind of his thing, and then we have James Craig here. So you know the offensive line has the abilities of actually getting coached up. The guys that we currently have, you know what I'm saying, and that's still, you know what I'm saying. I'm still rooting for Thayer, you know what I'm saying, as a late round pick. You know what I'm saying, but we got to. We got to make it work.
If JD not possible, really like Penix, what an arm on that kid. He's got an arm, man. It's just his injury is the only thing that knocks him, bro. I think we will take a full swing at Daniels, offer a big package, but if they say no, go to get Penix. Okay. I've been saying this. If the D-line is doing their job and getting the quarterback, you are not going to need elite DBs. And that's what I said. I said that before. And Twuan could vouch for that. I said that before. With a great defensive line, all you need is good enough corners, good enough, and they will perform. Shout out to Ray Love. You already know. Okay.
No.
Shout out to Ray Love in the building right now. They hashtag get JD5. We have to beat Minnesota out in the order to get number 3. Shout out to everybody, man. I'm just catching up to the chat. Good to see everybody in here, man. But also, it's not guaranteed that Jayden Daniels will pop out any draft picks. You know, feel me? Could it all depends on the coaching staff, in my opinion. I think the coaching staff dictates a rookie's career. And I truly mean that because if a player falls into the wrong hands of a bad coach, and a bad position coach, they will not look too good, and their progression will go like this until they go to another team. So for me personally, obviously that's another factor too on that Jada Daniels is the fact that is he gonna end up good? Which I think so because Antonio Pierce will bring the best out of him, and he's got people around him and stuff like that. But obviously, the other thing, the other question that I have for you guys, man, and I know some people already kind of said their answer in a sense. Shout out to Natural Born Raiders. Was good, dirty. What it do? What it do? Um, is trading up worth it, Twan? Is trading up worth it, y'all? What you think?
For the right person, yeah.
Okay.
And some people might make it sound like I'm contradictory, but I talk both sides. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, again, if we're focused on Jayden Daniels, like I said, I would like for him to be somewhere in that 4 or 5 range before we start looking at moving up. And that still might be a battle of throwing hella picks at Jayden Daniels, in a sense, because we might have to battle Minnesota, you know what I'm saying, for Jayden. You know what I'm saying? And they have 2 first rounds this year that they can throw at, you know what I'm saying, at that situation on top of whatever they have for years to come. So it still might be a situation where we're throwing a whole bunch of picks just to go get him. But if he falls at it, I think the 1, 2, 3, I think going up to there, pretty much everybody's a lock. You know what I'm saying, for getting their guy, and they're not going to want to move unless you throw something really, really, you know what I'm saying, ridiculous at them. And I think after that, I think you might be able to play ball, you know what I'm saying, and negotiate something after that. So that's why I'm looking at that bracket, you know what I'm saying, after the 1, 2, 3, that we can go up and then I could foresee that being some worth there.
Facts. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Shout out to, I believe Freight Train was good. Freight Train, good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Shout out to Eric Raiders Haters Hunter, Erica channel. What's good? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. I'm not sure if I saluted you though, but what's good, T09? What's good, T09? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. And shout out to everybody coming in, man. We appreciate it. We got 70 plus, man, between 2 channels. Just hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And like I said earlier, if you can't see somebody else's chat or something, it's probably because they're on the other channel. Or if you're, I believe, on computer, on the PC, just click live chat instead of top chat. Because when top chat happens in YouTube, like live streams and stuff, you won't be able to see some people's chat. So yeah, obviously put live chat there instead of top chat, and it's an interesting question, right? And trading up worth it. I feel like if you could guarantee the best out of somebody, you do it. And for me, I believe, and I think we could all agree that 110% the Raiders will make a call. Not saying that the deal would be done, but I will say they will make the call. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't cost anything to just make a simple call, right? What's up? Hey, Washington. Hey, we want to trade up. Our players on the board. We want to get them. What you guys feel? And they'll probably be like, hey, we're looking at that same person. You would have to give us a lot. And the Raiders would probably be like, hey, we'll give you 2 first rounders and a 3rd and a 6th, and we'll give you a future 2nd. And they'll probably be like, hey, we need more. And the Raiders will probably most likely be like, I'm sorry, we can't give up more, man. We don't think it's worth it too much. And then close the phone. And then the phone gets closed. And then nothing happens. That's, I think, the highest possibility that might happen. Because Washington is going to want a barrage of I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if it's going to cost 4 first-round picks, bro.
I need all 7 of your picks and all 7 of yours next year.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but it's gonna be something crazy, and that's why I'm like, nah. I'm like everybody talking about these picks. Like you ain't gonna have no picks. We gonna be sitting next year talking about, oh, I'm waiting for a 5th round to come around. we picking on day 3. You know what I'm saying? And we did that before.
For me, like I said, if it's the right price, I'm up for it, man. You know, like I said, I'm not on either side. I like both sides. I like both scenarios, really both scenarios. You know, at the end of the day, I'm also a guy that before in I would say the beginning of the offseason, even last year, I kind of said F them picks because I feel like draft could be a bit overrated sometimes because a lot of people would say, wow, the first round talent, wow, the second round talent. And then they don't end up panning out. It's a high percentage that they don't pan out. So I always said, hey, you know, if you could get better at a certain position, you give up those picks because you could guarantee yourself talent. And I said this, I believe, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I said the same thing Gabe said right there. It's been a slogan of mine this whole offseason. Scared money don't make money. So I'm going to continue saying that. And I believe that if you could get better at a certain position, you pull the trigger. If you can't, and if you're not 100% sold on it, don't do it. And now the Raiders, I don't think they're 100% sold on it yet. I think time will only tell. But for me personally, I'm not even mad at just staying put at 13 because and I see what Cali Raider said right there. We need a quarterback that can match up against AFC West. You guys want to know an interesting stat? Real quick, an interesting stat about the AFC West. And let me actually bring up the comments so you guys can see while I'm talking about it. You guys want to know an interesting stat about the AFC West? Antonio Pierce, when he took over, they were 3-1 against AFC West opponent, beating the Chiefs, beating the Chargers, and beating the Broncos. I believe he was 3-1 or 3-0. I forgot the first Chiefs game if he was there. I have to go look back.
And we did that with a rookie quarterback?
And a rookie offensive coordinator.
Okay.
3-1. 3-1. 3-1. That's an interesting, just something to throw out there in the atmosphere because I haven't seen too many people talk about it. He was 3-1.
A quarterback a quarterback that was told not to, don't turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too risky. You know what I'm saying? Play it safe. And we were 3-1.
What's good, Capitarafucho? What's good? Defense won that game against the Queens, and we still won. Just like we lose games because of our defense at times before. Remember, 2 years ago, we were all raving about, damn, this defense cost us the game again. This defense cost us the game again. They let the Rams with Baker Mayfield on a 1 week notice. 1 week notice, y'all. Remember this. 1 week notice. Go down the field for 60 plus yards down the field to win the game. So, you feel me? Obviously, there's different scenarios, man. I'm just throwing these scenarios out there because at the end of the day, I'm, like I said, and I'll continue to say it. I'm not on either side. I like both sides. I'm cool with trading up. I'm cool with not trading up. I'm cool with whatever. As long as we could get better and as long as we do better than last year, man, that's all I care about. And I'm trying to aim for the playoffs this season.
Yeah, and let's be clear, trading up. I think we're all assuming, but let's communication is key, right? I think we're all talking about moving up for a quarterback. We ain't moving up to go get a right tackle. You know what I'm saying? We ain't moving up to go get a wide receiver. That ain't no. especially in the first round. I'll say it like that because we know that in the later round, sometimes you move up in the fifth or you move up in the fourth, or you know what I'm saying. But that first round, yeah, the only thing I'm foreseeing moving up for is the quarterback.
Shout out to Sam Tanka, everybody coming in, man, and Capitan Rafucho. If the Raiders gonna adjust the situation of tight end with Michael Mayer, I think in the second round, Raiders gonna pick Court Halsey from Tar Heels. Great ability speed. You know what? I actually don't know who that is. Me personally, I haven't been really looking at tight ends. Me personally.
Who
But
was
I
it?
don't think that he said Court Halsey from Tar Heels.
Okay.
Me personally, I would not go tight end in the second round. That's me personally, right? Shout out to Anthony Estrada coming in. What's good, Anthony Estrada? What's good? What's good? What's good? Um, so obviously, my 2 cents. Salute Raiders Rebel Unleashed. What's good, man? Good to see everybody in here, man. I believe you're on my channel now, man. What's good? What's good? Welcome, welcome, man, and welcome everybody that's new to either channel, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. You could always guarantee on my side, right? You could guarantee 2 lives a week. Okay, you could guarantee that. For Twuan, you could guarantee videos and lives practically every day. So go out there, go hit that subscribe button, go hit that like button. Both links are in the description as well. And also follow that G. I don't know why my night ball is taking an off season off. My night ball is taking an off season off. So um I don't know when my night ball is gonna work, but whenever it works, follow my IG. It's also in the
Yeah.
description as well if you're on my channel.
And you got
Um,
sure.
you feel me? I have the IG, Twitter, but I've been on IG. But once the season starts, I'm gonna be tweeting a lot. I'm gonna be on Twitter or X now, as it's called, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what are the Raiders?" I'm gonna be tweeting during the game, so make sure. Twan has been grinding, man. Shout out to everybody out there grinding, man. Good to see everybody eat. Um, so obviously, there's 2 sides of the spectrum. I'm interested to see what would happen draft day, but I don't know about you guys, but one thing we could all agree on, I'm excited and nervous for the draft. I'm excited as hell, but
But
I'm
it's a good
nervous as
nervous.
it's a good nervous. It's a
It's a
good
good
nervous.
nervous.
It's a good nervous because I know we're gonna get a good player. It's just a matter of time if it's a stay at 13 and get a future right tackle or trade up and get a quarterback. Like either or, we're getting a good player, and I'm excited, but also very, very I don't know. I'm just very excited, man. I'm actually very excited. So, um, obviously, it's only less than a month away. I think it's 29 days now.
Mm-hmm. Someone talked about getting, and I like Michael Penix too at quarterback, but you know, not getting him at 13, and I agree with that. One of my brothers said it. He said it perfectly, and it was actually how I agree. Auntie Six talked about it. He's like, well, if we stay at 13, is it smart for us to get the fifth quarterback, or is it smart for us to get the top corner or the top right tackle at 13? What's the better value? You know what I'm saying? And the better value is getting the top player at the respective position and not, going for the fourth or fifth quarterback coming out, you know what I'm saying, at 13. There's going to be some guys, there's going to be some top guys at their position at 13 if we stay at 13. So, you got to look at it in that way too.
Facts, man. And Gabe says Mahomes, Rogers, Jackson, Allen, Burrow, Stroud, Herbert, Lawrence, Watson, Tua. Those are quarterbacks in the AFC. So we might get to playoffs with this. Um, those are all good quarterbacks. They're all good quarterbacks. I do believe that Rogers, we don't know what we're gonna get from him. Jackson, I mean, good player. Allen, Burrow's going through injuries. Who knows if he'll catch another one? Stroud's a really good goddamn quarterback, and we should have got him last year. But somebody by the name of not to be said, yeah, not to be said, cost us that. Watson, Watson's not what he used to be. Tua, good. So yeah, I practically agree with your list, man. There's a lot of hard hitting quarterbacks, a lot of good, well built teams. I will say that good, well bet built teams. There we go. So obviously, the AFC is going to be a dogfight. I really truly believe that. And the Raiders, if they want to make the playoffs, they got to get better at certain positions right now. And I believe there's like 3 places where you could automatically get better. 3, and I believe that's the cornerback, the quarterback, and the tackle or offensive line in general. I think you can get better. The quarterback, I'm not saying guaranteed getting better, but there is getting better. It's out there. But the worst case scenario is these 2 quarterbacks, and I'm cool with it too, right? I think, and I'm gonna give another prediction, which I predicted right last year when Josh McDaniels was dropped. I said we have one of the best staffs in the AFC West as a whole, not head coach, but as a whole. And I'm keeping that prediction for this year. I think we have one of the best coaching staffs in the AFC in general, as far as all of them, not just the head coach. The head coach, obviously, Antonio Pierce still got to show a little some. You feel me? But I believe as a whole, position coaches we brought in, as a whole, I believe we have the best one. Andy Reid is still the best head coach. Hate to say it, in the AFC West. You could even say Jim Harbaugh now is number 2, whatever the case may be. But I truly believe that we have one of the best coaching staffs in general, as a staff in the AFC, and that's going to help a lot, especially getting somebody like Marvin Lewis on the team. By the way, I think people forget that we have Marvin Lewis on the team, a guy that arguably made one of the best defensive teams. I believe defensive teams, if I'm not mistaken. Defensive teams.
And I think we also need to, put it in perspective that AP is still learning. You know what I'm saying? There might be some times we might be screaming for AP to call timeout or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the situation may be, or throw the flag, and he may fumble that. You know what I'm saying? He's still going to be learning. There's going to be, I'm not going to say he's going to be making rookie mistakes, but he's still learning. So there's good that he has guys around him, you know what I'm saying, that can help him stay on task. You know what I'm saying? There's a Marvin Lewis to say, hey, you know what I'm saying, I see this. Or, you know what I'm saying, you have, Patrick Graham, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's put some more respect on Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham is he's a good defensive head, he's a defensive coach, good defensive coach in his own right. So there's a lot of good minds around him that, will help him, you know what I'm saying, in the process. And I think, I think that's the benefits of us having him, and the team rallying around him. You know what I'm saying? The reports that players are in the off season, they're coming into work. You know what I'm saying? And they're working out together, and when they could be doing their own thing, they're coming to the facility and getting that connection and that camaraderie together now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's definitely going to help us, into the next season.
Shout out to the Raider Room in the building. What's good, Raider Room? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to D Menace in the building. What's good, D Menace? Good to see you, man. We're just talking about the draft right now, quarterback situation. I don't know, bro. I just can the draft just already happen, bro?
Can it be tomorrow? Can it really be tomorrow?
It's like this is gonna be a huge topic going forward, and it's like I just want it to end. I just want to know the answer. What is the result? What is the Raiders gonna do? What is the result, bro?
Did everybody did their pro day, right? Jayden did his. Drake May did his.
Michael Penix did it today. Caleb did it. Alabama did it.
So what we waiting on? You know what I'm saying? Like after the pro day, it's like, hey, we might just go ahead and get your suit. Go ahead and get in the backstage. You know what I'm saying? Like immediately after Jayden Daniels did his pro day, he should have just put on his tux and was like, "Hey, I'm on my way."
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's do it. Let's go ahead and get the draft out of the way.
Facts, man. And speaking of the draft, obviously, um, there's two things that I wanted to say. Um, one thing is that the first round of the draft, I don't know if I'm gonna go live for that. I will say that I don't know. I don't know. Because I might have people over, so that means I might not be able to do it. But I will give my post analysis. I believe at that night, hopefully, or as a YouTube short or something. I don't know something. The day 2 and day 3, I will be live. As of right now, by myself, unless you feel me, Twuan, anybody wants to join me. But I will be live on day 2 and day 3, I believe. So it's gonna be very interesting. My live reaction of these picks, and I love the draft. I think draft is one of my exciting things besides free agency. Well, obviously those are two of the obvious things, but the draft is like number one because a lot of surprises happen, and when those surprises happen, we're either mad or not. And if you guys remember the Alex Leatherwood pick, you guys all remember that everybody was going through a wall, which I almost went through a wall that day, and I wasn't
that was
even.
your favorite pick. What are you talking about?
I was. I threw, I threw if only I was doing YouTube at that time, bro, you would have seen me go through a wall, literally, or through a table, Swanton bomb, Jeff Hardy, that shit, bro.
We would have to do a GoFundMe for Eric's new laptop computer.
All right,
That would have been damaged.
all right. The new league rules can't tackle the hip anymore. Complete bullcrap, the clearest tackle ever. Which I kind of talked about it on my show on Tuesday, but there was some new league rules, y'all. New league rules. I like the trade rule because that instead of it being the trade deadline after week 8, it's now after week 9, which is good. Really good, I think, for the NFL and good for us. The trade deadline gets extended one extra week. That is good. The other thing that is kind of 50-50 on a lot of people is the 50. It's the kickoff. Now the kickoffs are going to have meaning instead of it being always a touchback. So until the kick returner ends up receiving the ball, then both sides could move. Which actually I have the video, but it's set up in like this format, which would practically only show me. So I'm not going to show it. But if you guys want to see
go
what
ahead,
it is,
go ahead, go ahead.
are you sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me
Just
share my
pull.
screen real quick.
Yeah, just pull me in later.
It's really only going to take like 30 seconds. But
It's all good.
Give me a second.
I'll say this too while you pull it up. I think it's similar to what I heard is similar to the arena football rules on kickoff. So if you watch arena football, it'll look similar.
I think I could get you to still talk. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Cam down so you can still be able to talk. Let me actually do this.
For shizzle.
Yep. There we go.
Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to both channels, RaiderTwuan and SC Raiders Talk.
Yep. So here you guys go. Let me actually show it. So this is the hybrid kickoff model right here. As you guys can see, and let me play it for you guys. As you guys can see, both lines there until he receives the ball, then they go. See that? Now it gives the kickoff more meaning. I believe the punter punts it. I believe so. So that means AJ Cole's going to have himself a field day right there, right? But obviously, one more time for everybody that hasn't seen it, right there on the bottom of your screen. Until he receives it, both lines go. That's one of the picks there. Then obviously, the trade deadline extended one more week instead of week 8. And then the NFL has banned the hip drop tackle. If you don't know what it is, then it's the same one as you can see in this video. This is where Tony Pollard got hurt. I think he tore his ACL. This is the hip drop tackle. It's a tackle that is used a lot on heavy backs. Derrick Henry, that's possibly the only way you could get him from the side. So this is going to be a very interesting season for both fantasy football and the teams that have these power backs. I will say that. Or even speed backs. Or actually any back.
Any
Because
back.
yeah, because if you go through the side, it's pretty much you're running next to him. The only way to pretty much tackle him is either tripping him or doing this. Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting what they end up having to do in regards to that tackling, because you know we were already talking about, you know, a lot of us have been talking about how a lot of defense is based on angles, you know what I'm saying? And if you take the wrong angle, you know what I'm saying, to approach the person, that can mess up your, you know what I'm saying, your tackle. So this move that they just banned was kind of like a move that, if I happen to kind of not take a proper angle but still am in the proximity, I can still make a, you know what I'm saying, bring the player down. So now it's going to be more important that these players take the proper angle in regards to tackling. And you know, to be honest with you, I think there's gonna be a situation where they're going to some defensive coordinator, somebody's gonna bring up some new way of tackling
Oh yeah.
to kind of, you know, loophole the situation.
In both rugby and football, I've never made a hip drop tackle, and I've been recently watching a lot of rugby. I ain't gonna lie, the way they tackle, bro. You know, I wouldn't doubt if some NFL players go look at rugby to go see the ways they tackle, and you'll probably see some ways to tackle, right? You could cam up and stuff like that. Let me take this off real quick. There we go. Let me get you back on. There we go. Be back. Um, but yeah, obviously those are the new league rules. Interesting rules. I like the trade deadline rule, especially the kickoff rule. I could see the positive and negatives. Negatives is it looks kind of weird, but the positives is it brings meaning to the kickoff. It brings meaning. So now you actually need a kick returner, and you actually need a punter slash kicker, which we got all of that.
I think the trade deadline, I think that one's a no brainer, especially
Yeah,
since they extended, you know what I'm saying, extended how many more weeks that we have in the, you know what I'm saying, in the league. I think you also need to extend the trade deadline. It would have sucked to be I'm talking figuratively, but it would have sucked to be like, oh, the trade deadline's in week 5, and you know what I'm saying, the season don't end until week, you know, 20. Like they got to make it somewhere in the halfway mark of the season. So I think that one was the easiest decision to make.
yeah. So obviously those are some things. I think that that extra game I see right there, already that they're working on getting another game to the schedule. I'm all for it. More football, more love, but I think you would have to throw a second bye week in there, in
I
my
was gonna,
opinion.
either they either going to have to do that, or they're going to have to maximize the amount of players you can actually keep on the roster.
Keep on the roster. Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I rather them do both. I rather them, you know, maximize, you know, add 3-4 more guys to your active roster, or you know, and give a extra, you know what I'm saying, bye week.
Mm. So, um, obviously there's different things, man, to look at. And D Menace, my night ball does not work, bro. My night ball does not work, so it sucks. We can't do that yet. I don't know why it's not working. I have to try to figure it out. But my night ball's not working. But if you guys wanna, support the channel, you feel me? You're pretty much underneath where it says subscribe or whatever. It says join. There's a join button next to it if you're on computer. On phone, I'm not sure how it works, but I know on computer it's right there. And also follow my Instagram, man. They're in the description below. Um, but yeah, man, if you guys want to support anything, man, I'll greatly appreciate it. Everything goes towards the channel. And sooner or later, I will have, actually, sooner, hopefully, I'm going to get a microphone soon. So if you don't want to, you feel me? I got to get a new microphone because this microphone is, yeah, I need a better one. But besides that, you feel me? That's pretty much for today, man. Anything else you want to say on football notice before we get to the end of it?
You know what? No, I'm good. I think in regards to, um, there's so many ways, like we talked about it. There's so many ways in which we can fill out this roster. We're not
Yeah,
that far away, but
yeah,
there's also some things, you know, down the line, down the years and down the time that we definitely have to look at and address. And I think Telesco's the right guy for that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's I think some of us hated the Telesco move, you know what I'm saying? But I think, over time we'll understand why he's here.
Oh shit. Oh, it's because you can
That's me. I
Wait,
clicked
wait,
on
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But obviously, there's different things to look at. I'm very interested to see what they do. Like I said, subscribe to both of us. We're gonna be dropping more Raider content heading up to the draft. I got a video, second video. I have a first official video already out there, y'all. If you want to see, it's over there. Get them views, or get the hit them like buttons over there. Throw your comment down there too. I'll reply. But also, I appreciate that D Menace, man. D Menace right there, man. There's the IG. If you want to know when I'm gonna go live, I post it usually a day before on Instagram. All those different things. Go over there. Go on my Instagram right there. SC Raiders Talk. Also, besides that, there's a video coming soon. There's a video coming soon about the draft, about trading up, that I'm gonna do. That's not gonna be more than 6 minutes at all. I like the shorter videos because I feel like, me personally, when I go on YouTube, I like the short videos, like something I could watch quickly while I'm eating or something, and then leaving or stuff like that. So, another video is coming soon, very soon actually. I might record it over the weekend and then probably drop it Monday, like always. And you feel me, Twan? Let them know, man. What content you got coming, man?
Man, I be cooking, you know what I'm saying? I be cooking in the back. So
Okay, okay.
I got something, you know what I'm saying? I think we talked a little bit about it today. About Efton picks. That would be something that I'll be dropping next week.
Uh,
My schedule is a little crazy because this weekend, definitely everybody, it's Easter weekend, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that has thrown my, thrown my little schedule a little off. But you guys definitely stay tuned. I'll be dropping that. Um, I am on the way for 500 subscribers. So if you guys can, please come on over to RaiderTwuan and subscribe. I will be giving a lucky subscriber a pair of black Air Forces.
Damn, Black Air Forces,
By
yeah.
week one, if we get to 500 subscribers. So if we get to 500, then you definitely need to be on the lookout because Black Air Forces possibly might be coming your way. So yeah, and again, that all relies on you guys. I say, Holly said it earlier, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the grind, you know what I'm saying? The content's going to be there, but it's all up to you guys to subscribe. So definitely, please come on over. And, I'm trying to make YouTube, you know what I'm saying, buy some Raider gear. That's all I'm trying to do. So definitely have YouTube buy Raider gear.
Yep. And besides that, also, like I said, I'm gonna be dropping a video soon, hopefully Monday. So stay tuned for that. I like doing these videos, man. I'm starting. Bear with me. I'm getting used to the editing. You feel me? I'm not an expert like others yet, but I will get there eventually, on fixing that up. So if you guys haven't seen my recent one, go look at it, man. It's called Damn, I don't even know my own thing, bro. Honestly, I be forgetting, bro. Hidden gems, man. Raiders in the hunt for key pieces, man. And I talk a little bit about the draft. I talk about what we got. What was some underlining signings that we got, like Andrew James and stuff like that. That's not bad as we think, and all those different things. I don't want to spoil everything. Go check it out. It's not that long at all. It's literally like 3 minutes and 6 seconds, man. I'm pretty sure everybody got 3 minutes to go watch it. Go leave a comment as well, and I will get to it right when I get the notification. So I appreciate you guys, man. And another video dropping soon about the draft. Monday, most likely Monday or Wednesday. But every live on Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, with the new format I got going on, and with my boy RaiderTwuan on Thursdays on the 2 for 1 Nation podcast around the same time. Probably now 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Uh, Eastern, pretty much every Thursday. And maybe you'll see some surprise lives from me. Maybe on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, maybe over the weekend. It depends. But for sure, a lot of draft content coming soon, man. And I'm excited. So
And my schedule too, in regards to that, because I just thought about that.
yep.
My schedule is obviously Thursdays, but Tuesdays is the same thing. So you can get a whole bunch of Raider content because you can watch me before Eric, because I start at 2:30, 3 o'clock on Tuesdays, Pacific time. So right after I'm done, you can slide right over to Eric and show him some love too. So, and if you can't, the replay is always good. Hit the like button, say something in the comment section for both of us. We both look at our comments, you know what I'm saying, and we do get involved. So if you have a question or saying a comment, we definitely will respond.
And there's shows throughout the days, y'all. It ain't only us two, man. And at the end of the day, man, like I said, I went into 2024 dropping everything in my brain, man. Everything from the past, everything to do. I'm a guy about positivity now, moving forward, and really straight positive now. And I don't really, the people that really know me that know that I don't really talk to anybody pretty much, because I kind of stay in my own lane because I got a lot of things to worry about personally now. So of course, man. Shout out to everybody out there doing Raider content, man. I see a lot of new Raider content creators, and I'll pop into your guys' live, man. I need to go check everybody out that's new, and also check out the people that you see in the chat, man. My boy Raider Gabe got a live, usually at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at late nights, there with the squad over there. You feel me? Go out there, go support them, go support everybody I see. I know there's another one. I believe he's in the chat. Raider Rebel. I think he's a new one.
Yeah.
Hey, go check him out as well, man. Go check him out. I'm gonna go check it out as well, man. I've heard he's new, so I'm gonna go check that out. Go support everybody, man. I know Holly eventually is gonna start being consistent. She's taking, like, I would like to call it an Eric, where you take breaks here and there. But go check her out and check out Dark and all them.
I had to get her on last Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I had to get the queen on the show. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely had to get Holly in. But even with me, if you want, I collab with all content creators. You know what I'm saying? All that are willing to have me on their show. So if you are interested in hitting me up, just hit me up on IG, and I will make an effort to be on the show.
Yep, and shout out to everybody else, man. Like I said, there's so many content creators out there, man. People that I respect and stuff like that, and all you gotta do is just look up probably Raider News or just Raiders, and they'll all pop up, right? Shout out to everybody though, man. I seen Critique in here too, man. Shout out to Critique, man, doing this for a very long time. One of the OGs that don't get enough recognition, man. Go support him as well. And support everybody else, man. I seen Natural Born Raider, my boy Dirty. I seen everybody in here, man. Go support everybody. And like there's so on. Raider Allegiance in the morning. Sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't, because I'm either at work, you feel me, or I'm barely waking up after he's done. Like, it's crazy. But shout out to everybody, man. Hey, much respect to everybody out there, man. Like I said, no problems in 2024 for me, man. And it's all love from here. And of course, I'm gonna start bringing in people to the lives as well. I haven't been collabing, but I think it's time to collab, talk to a few people, get them on the show, talk about things. And shout out to everybody, Protect the Shield, all of them, Leo, all of them as well. So salute to y'all, man. On that note, y'all, another 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Your boy SC Raiders Talk, your boy Eric, and my boy RaiderTwuan, man, also known as Twuan or Twuan, whatever you want to call him, or the King of Brown Crackers there, man. And anything before we go?
Man, be a blessing to somebody else. You're a blessing.
Yep.
I know I said it opposite. You're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. That's how you say it. That's how you say it. Even I got to get my words right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Quit playing with yourself. Subscribe.
And always, Randy, I try to do that, man. I see in other places. You feel me? Not many people's comments get pulled up, and me, I'm a guy that hey, I want to get to everybody's comment. I want to make sure that everybody gets heard and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, man, to me, and like I said, man, I used to be negative back then, but now I'm more positive, man, and I respect everybody's opinions and stuff like that, man. And I think you guys are all, everybody doing their thing, man, and giving good takes. So let me let y'all on some info you need. Nate Wiggins is cornerback one. I like Nate Wiggins from Clemson, man. But stay tuned, y'all. More drafting stuff like that, and I see a lot of people yelling it, so you already know what it is, man. All day, every day.
And happy Easter to everybody. If I don't catch y'all on anything, any other YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Let the kids run around and eat as many eggs as they want and all that great stuff. You hate it now, but you'll enjoy it later when you really think about it. Family, whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? It might not even be your blood, you know what I'm saying? Just people that love and care about you. If you can be around them this coming weekend, go ahead and do that.
Shout out to Faith. Shout out to Faith. Hope I win them Air Forces to wear with them Jayden Daniels jersey. There you go, man. Shout out to you.
Hey, do that, and also, be also for those. I know that sometimes this time of the year can be tough for some people because some people may not be around, for reasons. So definitely, you can always hit me up. Know that I'm always praying for those. Praying for you guys and hoping that as time things get better.
Facts. And life is short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And if you're new here, Cool Kev is our resident keeping SC humble. So whenever you see him say anything, he's keeping me humble. He's our fellow humble guy. But besides that, man, shout out to everybody behind the scenes as well. All eyes, man. My boy Prez. Shout out to you guys, man, for helping me as well. And Terrence, man. Shout out to Terrence. I believe his birthday was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So happy birthday, Terrence, man. One of the best mods out there, King of mods, all that stuff, man. Shout out to
Terrence. Like 85.
Damn. Me personally, I wouldn't take that. But shout out to my boy Terrence, man. Good to hope you had a good one, man. And on that note, y'all, SC Raiders Talk, your boy RaiderTwuan, 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. Until next time, y'all, next week, next Thursday. We'll see you then.
Shout out to
y'all. Yep. Peace out.
Is the will